things to do, like on a Saturday morning, is read the obituaries. Like, I'll like have breakfast and have the newspaper open, and I'm not like morbid about it. I'm more just curious. I kind of want to see like what people are, well, not what they're up to. I'm just curious, like what they did, where they were coming from, what happened, and see if you know anyone. And one particular Saturday, I was looking at the obituaries, and there was a familiar last name, but not a familiar first name. And it turned out that the person had been killed as a result of gang violence. But if he was friends with my parents, well, his parents were friends with my parents through church. And his mom didn't know that he was involved in this. It sounds really sad, and it is sad, but I'm sorry to bring you down. So I was looking at the newspaper, and I was like, that name, and like the location and everything lines up. And I ran past my mom, and she was like, no way! And I was like, I think so. And we found out that actually it was this same family. So my mom said, we have to go to the funeral. Or we have to go to the viewing and the funeral, and that's what we're going to do. So my sisters and I all got dressed up in black, and like with little pink shoes, like the bows, and like just, you know, like trying to like bring some cute into the funeral attire. And we get there, and we're in my mom's car, and she's got like this huge Suburban, and because it was this major nationally known organization, there was like all these guys on the roof of the funeral home with like guns, like they were snipers, and they had like a bomb squad outside, and you had to pull up, and then they would take your ID, the driver's ID, ask you a bunch of questions, and then the bomb sniffing dogs would circle your car. So I'm in the back seat, and the dogs walk around, and then they sit down, and we're all looking out the window like, and like, this is my mom's car, you know, like, my mom doesn't do bombs, doesn't have bombs, like, that's not the kind of thing my mom's into. So the dog just like sat down, and they were like, oh, we need to confiscate your car. And we were like, okay. So they made us all get out and line up and like face the car, and they would stand behind us and ask us like our name and our social security number, and the phone numbers of everyone else but me, which I was really insulted by, because they were like a bunch of kind of cute dudes, like compared to everyone else at this gang viewing. So they took all the information, and they said, we're going to take your car out into the field and test for bombs, and we'll have it back to you in about an hour. So they took it out for field tests. We went into the funeral home and stood in the line and looked around at all the people that had been there with vests that said things like Dirty Dozen and Lovely Few and like skanky scalawags and stuff. And we're all dressed like in black with our cute little bows on our shoes. So finally we get up to the body, and I had never actually seen the guy in real life. And his mom was there, and she was really nice, and like, you know, we went to give her a hug, and all of a sudden, like, this mango juice started pouring out of my bag, like, all over the gang mother's lap. And she was wearing a new dress, and it was purple, and it must have had, like, that stuff in it that, like, it just repels. Not wax, but, you know, like the stuff that your new clothes have, so they're stiff, like starch. And so we're, like, watching this mango juice just pull in her skirt. And oh my God, so we start grabbing tissues and throwing them on her lap, and my mom is like, don't worry, I got it, and turns, and she knocks over like those velvet ropes on the brass column things, and all the men from the gang are staring at us, and like, this is an all-male gang, and they're like, ooh, and I'm like, ooh, and she's like upset, but also has a really good sense of humor, thank God, and is laughing. And I'm like laughing because I'm following her lead, and also because that's what I do when I'm nervous. But also, like, I was really nervous about laughing because we have all these guys. And finally, like, the funeral director saw that there was like a scene, and he was like, come on, and like gracefully took us out away from everything. And our car was waiting for us in the parking lot. And we got in, and the guys from the bomb squad, like, detailed it in the field. Like, they like put all the little cans of Diet Coke that a mom might keep in the back, like, in a little box, and they like folded her emergency blanket up real nice, and like they dust busted the floor, and it was really nice and clean, and so we thanked them, and we left, and yeah, and the next day I went to the actual funeral at my church, and it was weird because there were like machine guns in the church and stuff, which, like, it's Catholic, that's not something you usually see. And then afterwards, like, everyone goes out in the parking lot, and they're like making all these weird marks on the parking lot. They're like tires, and we were like, wow, this is like really sad, but also kind of scary and cool. And then we left because we didn't go to the cemetery because we didn't know them that well. But I heard like this gang, they all take turns. I hope no one's in this gang. They all like take turns peeing on each other's graves.